Blue Justin here. Long time no see. Still Justin, still not blue. And today I'm finally getting around to doing something that I've been trying to get back into, a haul video. This is the part one. There are that many. Part one of the Steelbooks that I picked up since I fell ill, then had to go into hospital at the end of last year, and still haven't had really sort of like felt well enough to get around to doing properly. So forgive me if I'm a bit out of practice. I'm never that prepared anyway, so I'll do my best. So let's start off with just saying stuff like t-shirt is not one of the purchases I've made, obviously, because it's not available anywhere on Blu-ray because Netflix won't release The Witcher, and this one sort of like just goes out to Ray of I'll put a link down below. Ray's Movies, fantastic channel, Shirley, and I honestly go and visit and check her videos out. So let's start off on today's proper stuff then, I suppose. Yep, he's back. Finally got a proper space for him. And of course it is the 4K Steelbook of the Maltese Falcon. Very good film, not as good as I hoped it was going to be after seeing Casablanca, but absolutely beautiful Steelbook. I hope you can see from that, and I'm going to open it anyway, very, very carefully. Because you just have to see this. I haven't obviously opened it to check, but I've seen pictures on the internet, so I know what's coming. Well, as long as I know what's coming, as long as I don't have to rip all the paper, which is what I usually do. Even though this is a part one, it's going to take rather an age. So if I were you, you might want to pause it and put the kettle on. Right, so I'll just finish taking the sticky stuff off the back. Put that to one side for a moment. That is the front. Is it not very, very nice? And it is embossed around the character and the Maltese Falcon itself. But what I really appreciate is that fantastic rear cover, where it's as though you're looking through the glass from the other side. So yeah, I just think that's fantastic. Yeah, I'm not going to go too much further into that, except say the front and the rear. I forgot to say that also the title on the front and rear are embossed. So I better put that knife away before I hurt myself. Right, and I shall put all the bits back together again later, but needless to say, it's got some nice special features. It's got a commentary by the Bogart biographer Eric Lax, and then on the Blu-ray it's also got featurettes about the Maltese Falcon itself, breakdowns of 1941, the studio blooper reel, makeup tests, becoming attractions, the trailers of Humphrey Bogart, Warner Night at the Movies 1941 short subjects, gallery, which includes newsreel, music short, The Gay Parisian, 2 classic cartoons, trailers for this movie, 1941 Sergeant York, 1931's previous Falcon movie adaptation, and 1936's Satan Meta Lady. There's also an audio-only bonus, 3 radio show adaptations of the Maltese Falcon, featuring 2 of them featuring the movie's original stars, with another starring the famous Edward G. Robinson. So, despite the normal size thin packaging there, one heck of a nice package, I think you'll agree. So, one could not have one without the other, and that is, of course, Casablanca, 4K special edition Steelbook. This one is really thick because it has how big is the booklet in it? Oh, I can't remember. I know this is the sort of thing I do normally make a note of, and I do apologise for not doing proper notes this time. 32-page vintage press book, 2-sided poster, 7 art card reproductions, 3 lobby cards, 3 location blueprint sketches, letter of transit, custom envelope, which will be the other side of the box there. That's going to make it not fit on the shelf where I used to have my old copy of Casablanca on Blu-ray. Took me so long to get around to watching this. Can't believe it took me so many years. Basically, I didn't believe it could live up to the hype. Finally got around to watching it, realised I'd wasted so many years because it lives up to every single inch of the hype. It is one of my favourite movies of all time. So special features on 4K are an introduction by Lauren McCall, 2 separate commentaries, one with the famous Roger Ebert and the other by a film historian. On the Blu-ray you've got a feature on the greatest director you've never heard of, an unlikely classic about the film, Winter Night at the Movies, great performances, call on Bogart, You Must Remember This tribute, As Time Goes By, The Children Remember, deleted scenes, outtakes, cartoons, audio-only scoring, stage sessions, Vox Pop, radio broadcast, theatrical trailers, and a bonus disc with You Must Remember This, the Warner Brothers story, the Brothers Warner, Jack L. Warner, The Last Mogul documentary, and it says, and more. It is a bit of a shame that it's only in DTS HD master audio rather than Atmos, but you can't have everything, I suppose. I'll show you the normal back and you can see that's how much description there is and all the bits inside. There you go. So, and on to something completely different. I did have a t-shirt lined up for this one as well, but I can't find it. From an very old t-shirt from when I visited the Everglades with an agliator on it, and this one is the Steelbook of Crawl. If the storm doesn't get you, they will. From the producer Sam Raimi, who is down here as doing Doctor Strange in the Multi-Universe of Madness, because obviously that's his most recent one. I'm pretty sure that he's much more famous with lots of you out there for lots of different earlier movies. Again, it's a shame to see that it's only got DTS HD master audio, but it's nice and thick. What else has it got in here? We've got a motion comic of the alternate opening. Beneath Crawl, Category 5 gate is the visual effects. Alligator attacks deleted and extended scenes, and over 45 minutes of bonus content. Now, I must say, I'm a little bit surprised as to why this is this thick, if it's just discs. So let's have a little bit of a look inside, and if they are not telling us everything they've got, or whether it's they just spread it out a lot. I told you were going to need just like something to drink whilst this was on. Maybe I should have split it up into more than 2 parts. I don't know. Right, what have we got here? Yeah, there is a bit more. There's than like it seems to be mentioning. There's a nice big side put up. Actually, that's quite nice. That's well, you can actually screw that. So this one. Nice guide on how to defend yourself against an alligator. I think this is going to open out into a, yeah, this one opens out into a poster. And we have some one-sided art cards. And that's why it's so thick. The rest of the inside is yeah. So I'm just going to pop those things back inside, and work out how to close it properly. And just slide that back into place. Okay, and what have we next? We have something I really can't talk much about because I have looked into it before I bought it. I'm not totally stupid. It's some anime Blu-ray steelbook called Jujutsu Kaisen. It's Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I believe it's like a prequel to maybe the anime series. The simple story is when an accident takes the life of Yusha's childhood friend, he's left with a cursed spirit as he harms the people near him. A depressed Yuta must choose between execution or Jujutsu sorcerers. Can the curse of love turn into his greatest gift? I'm guessing so. There's a promo video, there's a trailer, there's teasers, commercials, and as per quite common with anime, there's textless opening titles. Doesn't say textless closing titles on this one. There usually is for TV series, but not in this case. I can feel through the shrink wrap that it has got some nice embossing around the characters and the creature, which is always nice for them to put in some effort. But I've just noticed I'm putting some of these things back down the wrong way up, so I don't want to confuse myself later. It's going to be bad enough with getting them back into alphabetical order. Don't want to mess myself up even more. Okay, and now on to a movie that I really enjoy and is a friend of mine's favourite movie of all time. And that is, as you can see, The Lost Boys. And what do you know, it's a 4K Ultimate Collector's Edition, limited, all sorts of goodies. You can see from, I'm not going to open this one because I'll take forever as it is. I'm just checking the clock, sorry. I believe the interior of this, the front cover of the actual steelbook, which I think is the blue one here, I think is the same artwork as they put on the normal 4K release, but I don't think they released the steelbook separately, but I'm not sure. This one's got the exclusive steelbook, there's a hint. The film on 4K and Blu-ray, obviously. 32-page book, two-sided poster, 8 character cards with special features, including a commentary by Joel Schumacher, with stuff on the Blu-ray, adding additional scenes, a retrospective documentary, the return of Sam and the Frog Brothers, the two Coreys, and Jameson Newslander, a multi-angle video commentary, vamping out the undead creations of Greg Cannon, inside the vampire's cave, 4 featurettes, Hamster and Feldov, the story of the two Coreys, Lou Gramm, Lost in the Shadows music video, a World of Vampires interactive map, and the theatrical trailer. And again, I shall just show you the back there. Very nice. Very nice cover in my opinion. To the road then. I've got to be careful that doesn't all tip over any minute. I'm going to take a sip. Right, I'm talking of vampires. This is one that I picked up off eBay and haven't taken out of the shrinky thing they sent it to me in, which is nice of them. I do have the regular edition of this, but this is the steelbook and the cover is so much nicer in my opinion. And this is Let Me In. I think a neighbour moves in, girl neighbour moves in next door, and the boy, sort of like, who's quite a recluse, finds out like she's so much more than she seems when she starts to help him out and becomes his friend. It's based on, I think it's Swedish, the movie called Let the Right One In. I've got that as well on Blu-ray somewhere, but I think that cover, I would normally go and grab it for you now. In actual fact, I will, just if I can find it. Hang on a second. Yep, found it. Hang on a sec. There's going to be a little bit of a jump there, isn't there? I'm going to have to ease something together. This is the normal cover for Let Me In on Amaray, and this is my new steelbook. I mean, I know which I fall in love with immediately, and which is why I upgraded, even though I wasn't upgrading to a 4K. And incidentally, just to show you what it's like, this is the original film Let the Right One In, which I do have on steelbook already, so now I can put them together. So what am I going to do with these? I'm going to put them somewhere carefully to one side. That's what I'm going to do, because those have got to go on the shelf. I've actually mined some shelf space for those ones. So let's move on to a little bit of superhero-y stuff. We have Black Adam. This is the HMV 4K Steelbook exclusive. I think we've generally started to see HMV getting more and more of the Steelbook exclusives, whereas Savvy used to get them all. Savvy has, even though it's a huge company owned by the Hut Group, they have run into a few financial difficulties, I believe, and are getting less and less of the Steelbook exclusives, which they used to get 90% of. And I must say that HMV, when HMV gets an exclusive, they don't add quite so much as Savvy used to do, so I'm not going to complain. Black Adam, obviously played by The Rock, 5,000 years after he was bestowed with the powers of the Egyptian gods and imprisoned. Just as quickly, he is freed from his earthly tomb, ready to unleash a unique form of justice on the modern world. It's got the history of who is the Justice Society from soul to screen, SOUL. Black Adam, a new type of action costume, make the hero, and more, it says. Now, does this one does have Dolby Atmos, which is always nice. Even if you don't have Dolby Atmos, I suspect more and more people will in future. And here you go with a very different. So I was just having a quick look because I was expecting a different. Oh, we'll have to wait till we reach the point where I put it. This is a sort of superhero movie which had a marvellous upsetting effect when it came out. This is the exclusive collector's edition for Kick-Ass, which includes the Steelbook and all sorts of goodies. This one's got DTSX master audio, so essentially DTS's version of Atmos, as far as I understand it. I love the way that this film caused such an uproar when it first came out, with the language. It's got, as you can see, again, we've got a thick one there. Not 100% not sure it's in there, but you can see from the back it's going to include booklets and art cards and all that sort of, probably posters and all that sort of thing. For some reason or other, it doesn't appear to list what it's actually got in there. Yeah, it'll be great to see that in 4K. The first, that is a proper upgrade from Blu-ray to 4K. So, and next up we have my favourite TV show, as people will know. In this case, it's Doctor Who and the Abominable Snowmen. Steelbook, obviously. Like I said, I'm only doing steels today. Episodes 1 to 6 that have been animated in black and white. Episodes 1 to 6 that have been animated in colour. a restored surviving original episode 2, because that's always because that's the only one that actually survives. There's photographic reconstructions of 1, 3, 4, 5 and 6. That's where they take a frame, or when it was made, they took a photo every few seconds of the original, and they sort of can merge them together in these photographic reconstructions, and lay the audio over the top so you can sort of see what's happening, not in an animated way, but what they actually look like on the screen, even though they're not moving. They have obviously fixed photographs. There's a making of documentary. There's audio commentaries. That's obviously more than one. 8mm home movie footage, archive interview with the writer, a photo gallery, a teaser trailer, and the PDF ROM content. The only problem I find, which is that a lot of people do not have Blu-ray players that are attached to their computers, so trying to read off the PDF is very difficult. It wasn't so bad when it was DVDs. Most people had DVD players that DVD or computers that had DVDs. You could build DVD readers built in that could then just copy off any content like PDFs, so that made life easy. Anyway, that is The Abominable Snowman. I think that's the first appearance of the Yeti. It came back later in The Web of Fear, which incidentally is one of my favourite Doctor Who's. And talking of favourite Doctor Who's, this isn't, but it's a steelbook and I've got them all, so all that exist. So this is the Series 13 specials with Jodie Whittaker. She's off, and obviously most important the Christian, or the showrunner, is leaving too, because he has no idea how Doctor Who's supposed to run. In my opinion, I've said it before, and I'm not going to apologise for it. I think he's done an appalling job, and I'm so glad to have Russell T Davies back in the driving seat. I do hope that the noise from outside does not get too intrusive. It sounds like somebody is using a buzzsaw somewhere outside in the street. I do apologise, I can't help that. I don't have a soundproof recording room. At least I've got the window shut. Anyway, yep, Steelbook. It does contain the Eve of the Daleks, Legend of the Sea Devils, and the Power of the Doctor. So at least it's 3 stories rather than like just one and they'll charge a fortune for. So, yep. Now, what do we have next? I'm sure I should be able to find a suitable t-shirt for this, but I haven't. This is only available in the US, and this is the 4K, and I think it's only got the 4K in it, not Blu-ray as well, like we always get over here, almost always get over here. I'm not going to say always, because somebody is bound to tell me that I'm wrong. But America is starting to get much more a case of they'll fit everything onto the 4K disc, whereas we tend to use the Blu-ray disc that we've already got, rather than compromising potentially the quality of the 4K image. This is Dragon Slayer. I imagine it comes from the 1980s, looking at it. It does come with a commentary by the director and Guillermo del Toro. It's got screen tests, and it's got the Slayer of All Dragons feature. and it's got the original theatrical trailer. Those are all in high def rather than ultra high def. It's got digital, and again, that's something we don't get in the UK anymore. I shall be passing the digital code on to Shelley in the US, because as far as I'm aware, digital codes are country specific. So yeah, there we go. That's a nice little PG rated dragon movie, and it's got Atmos. So let's move along from there. And hope that lot doesn't fall down all over me. Right. No, just a quick one before the... Oh, hang on a sec. I might have to reorder these. Because after so many minutes, the video standard stops working. It doesn't matter whether you've got space or not. And therefore, you have to play with the timer decided to reorganise the audio, and it's a nightmare, let me tell you. So I'm going to show you something now that I'm sure you'll know that I have already got, and should have really waited for the next edition to come out anyway, and that is the 60 Years of Bond Steelbook, just on Blu-ray, because they haven't released the 4Ks of the earlier ones yet, and I know I should have waited, etc, etc, but this is for The Spy Who Loved Me, which happens to be, I won't say it's the best Bond movie out there, but it's the first one I went to see at the cinema on release, and it holds a special place in my heart, and I really do like this, the covers of the ones, this series that they've sadly released as exclusives, were all stills from the always tremendous opening titles of the movies. However, I didn't get any of the others. I mean, normally I'm one of the, everybody knows I'd be a completist, but in this particular case, I have this on Blu-ray in the 50 Bond 50 huge set. So I'm only getting this because it's special to me, and I really like the cover. So there we go. So now we can continue with, well, let's go for something nice and light-hearted. In fact, it's Light Year. Didn't get the most brilliant of receptions, I believe, but I'll judge for myself. Thank you very much. Sort of unanimated and then reanimated sort of version of Toy Story. Very, very weird idea, taking someone and then animating them rather than using pure animation. So it's confusing. It's got, it's basically the story of the real Buzz Lightyear that the toy was based on, and it's, as you can see, it's the 4K. I do really like the artwork, it's worth. It's Dolby Atmos. On the Blu-ray we've got a commentary. Very surprised they haven't put that on the 4K. Doesn't really take up a lot of space. A commentary track. Blu-ray again, Building the World. Zap Patrol, Toyetic, and deleted scenes. So yeah, there we go. This is the one that I know was certainly last time the local. Went to a Comic-Con. Was everybody's, well, it seemed to be the year of My Hero Academia. This is the third My Hero Academia movie rather than anime series. It's a 15 rated. I don't know, not quite know why, because I haven't seen many of them. I have the other two on a twin disc set. I tried to get the other two on a Steelbook twin disc set, but I was too slow. That's the way these things. What have we got? Blu-ray is Dolby True HD, and it hasn't got a lot of special features. It hasn't gone into them in detail. It just tells me things like it's got a special feature for previews, and it lasts about 3 minutes. So we're not exactly breaking out into the great wide world here, but yeah, My Hero Academia, very, very popular, especially with the youngsters in cosplay. On the parade last time I was out, I forget what it was the year before. I think it was Harley Quinn. All the girls were dressed as Harley Quinn, and then obviously nobody told them of the backstory of the character, so it's a bit on the inappropriate side. Not quite. Yes, I remember World Book Day. All the people who went into school dressed as Mr. Grey from 50 Shades of Grey, and at least a couple got sent home because their mum had decided it was an easy thing to dress them as, and they obviously didn't have any idea. It wasn't their fault that they hadn't read the book and probably wouldn't want to. Anyway, next up is one I got off eBay, and 'twas a bargain, and I love this movie. I love the actor, and this is Denzel Washington in the Steelbook for Man on Fire. Again, I'm updating my regular Blu-ray to the Steelbook, but it's the biz, so it doesn't go into great detail. In fact, it doesn't go into any detail about the plot on the back. I don't know why, whether there's a slip missing or anything. It's only got DTS HD master audio. But if I recall correctly, apart from I know that I love it, it's Denzel's hired as a bodyguard to look after a young girl when kidnappers take her. He goes on Denzel is out to get you mode, and you do not want to be on the wrong end of Denzel is out to get you mode. Now on to something for the Oscar winning fans. This one is the 4K of Everything Everywhere All at Once. As you can see, it's the German release. I wonder why that might be. Oh yes, it wins the Oscar, and not only do we not get 4K of it, not only do we not get a steelbook of it, not only do we not get a Blu-ray, I don't think we've even got a DVD of it in the UK. It's absolutely ludicrous. Disgusting is another word I can think of. I know it sort of has split opinion, but as Oscar on it, it certainly shouldn't be totally ignored like it has been. It's doesn't mess up. It is quite confusing, crossing between multi-dimensions, and starring Michelle Yeoh and Jamie Lee Curtis. And as you can see, this is the 4K Steelbook. I thought I'd ordered the 4K Steelbook from France, but luckily I hadn't. And I say luckily because the French 4K Steelbook did not have English subtitles for the even though it has an English, the soundtrack is called English. There are parts on the English soundtrack where they don't actually speak English. So, and the only subtitles that would have been available would have been French. And if you'd seen my French O-level results, you'd know that was not going to help me a lot. But luckily on this German release, they do give you the option of English subtitles when they're not speaking in English on the English soundtrack. So really looking forward to seeing that. It sounds very interesting, and I shall see how it turns out. I think this one got entered for all sorts of goodies as well. This is 4K Steelbook for Elvis. I personally was not as impressed as I hoped I would be with it. As you can see, I've watched it, and that's what got it in this Steelbook protector. What's it got? This does. They're going to have Atmos. I mean, you'd hope so, being a sort of like very music-based movie. Nice. There's the back. Special features: bigger than life, the story of Elvis, story of rock and roll royalty, music and artists behind Elvis, Fear for King, the style, Viva Australia, repeating iconic locations for Elvis, and the Trouble lyric video. So yeah, I personally felt that Tom Hanks is one of my favourite actors, and he hardly ever puts a foot wrong, but in this I just don't think he was at his best, and now I was thinking, well, that was a great shame and let it all down. It's also, according to an Elvis fan of mine, got quite a few technical inaccuracies, so don't rely on that. Here's a fun one. Well, I hope it's going to be fun. I haven't opened it yet, as you can probably see. This is the 4K Steelbook for Bullet Train. Lots of assassins on the fast moving train. What could possibly go wrong? Now I got to try and work. Yes, it's got Atmos. Quickly checking for you. As I think you can possibly see by the, if I change it around like that, you can see it's got a bulge on the back. I think that's sort of like a booklet underneath the paper wraparound card, rather than putting it inside the case. So interesting. Over an hour of extras. Catch what you missed Easter eggs. Trained professional, the cast. Aboard the pain train stunts. Mission accomplished. Making of the bullet train. Filmmaker commentary with and with David Leitch, Kelly McCormick, and Zach. Oh, here goes my pronunciation. Olkowitz. Select scene stunt. It says previs here. I'm assuming it means previews. Or similar. I'm not sure. But anyway, I haven't seen it. I'll say I know this one. Some people thought wasn't as good as they were hoping. I've only seen the trailers, and I know sometimes they can be misleading, but I very, very much enjoyed them, and I'm looking forward to having a chance to sit down and have a watch of that. And now we have, well, actually, judging by the number of times I've bought it, there can actually be more than one, but finally we have it on 4K, and this is the Highlander Steelbook 4K. I absolutely adore this film. It's got a great plot. Number two obviously doesn't, we know that. I personally think the art here is, I know lots of people love original artwork, but personally I prefer the Blu-ray Steelbook artwork of just the sword embossed. On the back here we've got Kurgan facing off against John Connery. Then we got there's all sorts of special features. What does it say on the? Does it say anything about a? DTS HD it says here, so I don't even know if it's master audio. I hope so. On the 4K disc, we got new features. The immortal attraction of Highlander, looking at 4 decades of the magic. And by the way, if you ever see it, even though it's only available on DVD, the Highlander TV series is actually worth a very good watch. Went on for quite a few seasons and has got some great cameo roles from rock stars in it. And the person Adrian Paul, who plays the Highlander in that, who's related to Connor MacLeod, comes from the same clan, does a very, very good job. And there's lots of good twists and turns in it. I recommend it, I really do. If you're okay with watching DVDs and can get hold of copies. They even had a spin-off from it called The Raven, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, going back to this one anyway. New special feature, kind of magic music of the Immortals, featurette on the soundtrack. Another new one, capturing immortality, an interview with the photographer. There can be only one. The Kurgan Clancy Band remembers Highlander. New audio commentary, a traditional audio commentary, another traditional audio commentary, and on the Blu-ray they've got an interview with Russell Mulcahy, another one with Christopher Lambert, and a 4-part making of documentary, and looks like one of the traditional audio commentaries, the one with Russell Mulcahy is also on the Blu-ray if you want to watch that, and the trailer indeed. How could you miss one of those? So yeah, brilliant, fantastic. I've heard again split things about this one. I'm a bit worried about where one of my Blu-rays has gone. I might have to check it in a minute. Here is one that certainly split opinion. This is the film version of Halo Steelbook. Again, I think you can see possibly from the bulb that it's got taking the sticker off. It's got the pamphlet booklet thing underneath the slip cover, which is going to make it a real pain to put into protective slip. Quite a nice-ish cover, I suppose. It would have been nice, I think, I don't like it when they totally cut off heads. I mean, even though it is obviously deliberate choice. It's civil war, political unrest, super soldier appears, but when he starts learning about all sorts of things that have been going on, he wonders whether the human race is actually worth saving, if I recall correctly. 5 hours of special features, including declassified, creating the costumes, weapons and vehicles, dissecting the Battle of Madrigal, becoming Spartans, the Lake of Eternal Life, a song from Halo's score, the world of Halo, the making of Cortana, the culture of the Covenant, adapting Halo. And does it say what it is? Yes, it does say it's in Dolby Atmos. I might have to take a break in a minute to see if I've lost, or where I've lost one of the Blu-rays, because I knew I had it. So if we can, I will do this one next. So no, can't find it anywhere. Put it somewhere safe. It'll have to go into part 2 after I've found it. I know it'll be about somewhere. Just be not where I thought I put it. Anyway, let's go on with, obviously, House of the Dragon, limited edition steelbook, 4K. This is part 1, or season 1. I believe this is the first thing I ordered when I got out of hospital. Luckily it had just been released, so it's still available and hadn't sold out yet. It's got over an hour of bonus content, including 2 exclusive featurettes. Return of the Seven Kingdoms reflects on the legacy of Game of Thrones and its connections to House of the Dragon. And Welcome to Westeros with Ryan Condal, Miguel Sapochnik and George R.R. Martin. I used to know how to say that last one. And it's Dolby Atmos. Isn't that nice? As well as obviously 4K. Does it have? It says. Doesn't say it's got. Doesn't say it's got any Blu-rays in it, so it might all be 4Ks. So if you're 4K, sorry, not 4K capable yet, and are buying 4Ks with Blu-rays just so you can watch the Blu-rays for now, this might be one of those exceptions where you shouldn't really go buying it unless you double checked. As you can see from there, it's nice and thick. There's obviously lots of extra goodies in there, like probably going to be posters and whatnot. Doesn't say on the back, and I haven't, like I said, made any notes today. So that is the back, and that is the front for the 4K of Steelbook of House of the Dragon. Oh, by the way, I can feel through the shrink wrap that the dragons are embossed, which is always nice. God, I wish I knew where that missing blinking thing was. Anyway, just got a few more to go, and but one of them's a real doozy. Please hang around. This is a 4K upgrade for me of Argo, the very cunning, how did they pull it off, CIA mission to rescue people from Tehran, and whilst Jimmy Carter was in charge. Picture-in-picture eyewitness accounts, including special features on the Blu-ray one part. There's a feature-length commentary on the 4K and the Blu-ray, and Escape from Iran, the Hollywood option, and they look inside the risks the Canadians took to shelter their closest neighbours. Argo, the CIA and Hollywood connection. Argo, absolute authenticity, and Ben Affleck explaining how he recreated the world of the 1979 Iran hostage crisis. It's in DTS HD Master Audio 5.1. They haven't upgraded it. It's interesting. I'm not sure I'm 100% a fan of it, but it's an interesting little change to the cover there, a bit unusual. Quite nice. Just for a bit of fun, and because it was there, what the heck, we're back with The Rock, and this time with the steelbook for G.I. Joe Retaliation. And yep, he's got, what is he doing? There's a commentary on the 4K disc from the producer. And anyways, come on, it's The Rock and it's G.I. Joe. What do I really need to explain? There's going to be, they've taken a fall for a terrible crime they didn't commit, and it's time for the rest of the team to face their mortal enemy Cobra, as well as dangerous new threats operating within the government. And when all else fails, one option remains: retaliation. True HD 7.1 is the sound. Rated 12 for moderate action violence. The Blu-ray has behind the scenes featurettes and some deleted scenes, as well as the extended action cut. As usual, the extended version is not on the 4K. I imagine that means. I hate it when they do that. I believe it's possible to do, because I know that some of the, or at least one US disc that I've got has it's got the extended and non-extended version on the 4K. I don't know why it's not done more often. Probably just cheaper to throw in the extended Blu-ray version and say, oh yeah, well, it's extended, isn't it? Yeah, honest. Anyway, and this one I upgrade. Oop, I don't think it's a loose disc in there. I think it's just, I don't know, might be. This is the 4K for Mask of Zorro. I'm going to open it up in a minute to see whether that's just cardboard advertiser or it's got a loose disc. Yeah, it's a rattler. They put both discs on one side like that, and the other one fell off. So that's nice and safe again now. Just going to seal that up. And as it says, 25th anniversary. Gosh, God, I'm so old. And finally for today, because like I said, there was one that I really wanted to do and was expecting to be able to, and I don't know where it's gone. We have one biggie that I have not seen actually advertised all over the place. So, and that final set is, as you might obviously have guessed now, the rather big full 4K Steelbook set of Hunt games. Now, I haven't seen this about a lot. I haven't seen it on anybody else's channel, but so I'm going to quickly open it up and give you a show and tell. I won't do a full unboxing or anything. Like I said, I'm sure this video has gone on long enough for you anyway, and I hopefully will be able to track down the missing Steelbook in time for part 2, which I shall do as soon as I can. But anyway, just so you can see, I think just I'm starting to open it. Those are they look to be separated so they don't rub against each other. That's the back, and I can already feel through the shrink wrap that that's going to be a sticker, and down the edge, the other edge, that's what we got. And now I shall quickly take off the shrink wrap. Yes, both the stickers on the front, both the age markings on the front are stickers. And goodness knows who put that one on there. As Bruce Willis in Die Hard might have said, who's put that sticker on there? Stevie Wonder? Right, so I'll just take those off. In actual fact, Stevie Wonder would have been able to feel the corners. He did a much better job. You can probably now see that the front is reflective on a matte black. The top is reflective on a matte black, similar to the back there. And is this a sticker? Yes, it is. Everything should have stickers on it rather than poor us UK people be forced to look at age ratings once we've bought the thing. So all the legally stuff is on the end there. That's what's on the bottom actually. So quickly going through the actual discs. That's interesting. On the back of each disc, it looks like you've got, well, on the back of the first disc anyway, you've got the analysis of the districts, but on the front of the first disc, you have that image, Cat 17, and that's the back. As you can tell, it's a little bit reflective. But again, you've got all the different districts in the capital. District 1 is luxury, District 2 is masonry, 3 is technology, 4 is fishing, 5 is power, 6 is transportation, 7 is lumber, 8 is textiles, 9 is grain, 10 is livestock, 11 is agriculture, 12 is mining. There we go. And here on the back, on the front rather, of Catching Fire, which is in full mode, and on the back, again, very, very nice indeed, we have a map layout of some of the districts, I dare say, since that's districts 1, 4 and 5, I have a feeling that the next few couple of this are going to form a proper big map. So yep, here we go. Yes, I'm right. Here we are, and this is the bit different. Odd to find the different styles of image on the different discs. That's on Mockingjay Part 1, and as you can see, that's more of a pastel drawing rather than AI type generation. Quick to show you inside. As you can see, that I can see that yes, they are separated, as I told you and guessed. They're nice and neat, so they don't ever rub against each other. Oh, and on the back of Mockingjay Part 1, that's they don't exactly link in because I think they're on a different scale, because you can see by the fact that, no, that's District 7 actually, so I might do well do it. Let's find out in a minute. And finally we have, get slightly different style again from Mockingjay Part 2. That's the front of it, and that's the back for District 12. This is going to be fun for me. Let's see if I can work out how they go and possibly even hold them up for you without breaking everything. Right, I can show you these two side by side as to where these districts fit together. That's on Mockingjay 1 and Catching Fire, and I'll try to line it up. That'll be approximately how it'll go. This will be the third one underneath. It'll be halfway between the two, but I can't hold them all at the same time whilst looking, I'm afraid. But what an absolutely gorgeous set. I'm very, very pleased that I managed to pick this one up. Now I'm just going to slip them all safely away before I scratch something. I feel like an idiot. Mockingjay Part 2, Catching Fire, and the original. Doesn't have any specifics that I can see on here about what the extras are. I'm sure there will be some. Looks like it's all. Looks like the first two are DTS HD Master Audio 7.1, and the last two are Atmos. For those who are interested, like I said, I'm not 100% sure on the extras on these discs because they don't show them, and I'm not a mind reader. So Yep. Well, barring the disappearing steelbook, I hope you really enjoyed my return to producing video hauls. I know it has been a long one. I hope you managed to stick it out to the end, especially for that wonderful Hunger Games set. Like I said, I haven't seen it about very often. I shall see if I can put something above, maybe with any extras that I find out are on there, or whether it's just 4Ks. Oh, that's a good question. I wonder if there's something inside the box. Gives you more of a hint. I'll tell you what, if there is, it's hard not to open. You do get a 4K and a Blu-ray. That's inside the first one, looking a bit like Flowers on the Good Life. But doesn't look like there's any indication of what the actual extras are going to be, or whether they're just going to concentrate on the the steelbooks, the 4Ks, and that's it. I don't know. So might be worth hanging on to any other sets you might have if you're interested in the extras on those. I think I have the set that's missing. Mockingjay Part 1 is missing the name of the spine, so only the fact that it's between Catching Fire and Mockingjay Part 2 means you can work out what's likely to be on your shelf there. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please do keep on watching everybody else's videos, watching and enjoying TV, cinema, getting out, keeping on supporting physical media, and I shall be back hopefully quite soon. And like I said, hopefully once I've found my missing steelbook, which was going to begin with a B but in the second half of the alphabet now. Cheers.